Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tim from Arm Wrestling Secrets, and I wanted to tackle a really important issue in arm wrestling today. And it's a question I get a lot, and here it is. It's going to be table time or weights. Okay? Now, that question I get all the time, it's what's going to make me better at arm wrestling? Table time or weights, okay? What's going to make me stronger? Table time or weights? Okay, now, going back to my overtraining video from the other day, this is a question I get a lot, and this is a question I think applies to all of you arm wrestlers, one way or the other. Unless you figure this out and you got a good system that works for you, you're trying to balance weight training and getting stronger in the gym with table time, and you're running into all kinds of overtraining issues. Your elbows are sore all the time. You can't lift the same weights because of your table time. You can't do the same table time because of your weights. You wonder, should I quit one? Should I just stick with another? What's the best thing to do for arm wrestling success? And I want to make this perfectly clear from the get-go. I'm going to read somebody's question that they wrote in, kind of word for word, because I think it's going to help answer a lot of your questions out there as well. And it's a good question. But I'm going to talk broadly about the issue, and I'm going to talk exactly about what my opinion is in terms of competition, arm wrestling, tournament preparation regarding table time or weights. And that's the real question, okay? So let me read the question, and that'll kind of clarify everything, okay? And then I will come back and I'll give you my thoughts on it, okay? I have it written down here. Okay, so this is from Nico D. Shout out to you, Nico, from Hawaii. Okay, so I'm going to read this out loud, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it, and then I'll kind of give you my broad feelings about tournament and competition preparation for arm wrestling and how I feel regarding table time or weights, and I'll tell you exactly what I think about that. Okay. Question from Nico D. So you would suggest that table time can't help with strength increase? I have 2 practices a week, mainly with a friend who is stronger than me. I'm more of a hand-based arm wrestler, and I noticed I need a lot more side pressure. I don't think I will reduce the table time as I love it, and my friend needs his table time. So I keep hoping I can get stronger with table time only. Can it be possible? Or will it just be a waste of my time strength-wise? Nico, great question. Okay, so I'm going to answer that, and I'll kind of take a little bit of a piece at a time. Okay, so first question was, would I suggest that table time can't help with a strength increase? Certainly not. I don't say that it wouldn't help with a strength increase, but this is what I want to say, and it's going to go kind of to the heart of the entire question, really. So I'll just dive into it here. But this is what I noticed, and this is something I mentioned briefly in my overtraining video. I'm going to get a little more into it here because it's table time or weights, and that's really one of the biggest questions I think in arm wrestling, and I think everybody struggles with that at every level, all the way up. Okay, because everyone's arms get sore. Everyone needs recovery time, and balancing recovery time between table time and weights and everything else is tricky. And here's what I'm going to tell you about my thoughts on it after I answer this very first question. So he says, can it be possible? It certainly can be possible, but let me just give you my thoughts on kind of a breakdown on it. Okay, is this okay? If you don't know how to arm wrestle, you need a lot more table time. Okay, you need to practice the sport. Okay, you need to get on the table. You need to work on the sport and everything like that. Eventually, you'll learn the tactics and techniques that go into the sport. Now, conversely, if you do know the sport, if you know the techniques and the tactics and what you know technically on the table, if you know how to pronate the right way, hook and shoulder press and top roll technically right, and you are confident that you do know how to do that, and you're going to do the same thing at the tournament, my suggestion would be this, and I want to clarify this just before I go on, which is, remember, this channel is designed for tournament competition success. I'm not talking about, and I don't care about success against your friends, your relatives, the fat guy at the bar, the neighborhood drunk. I don't care about any of that. This is about high-level tournament competition in arm wrestling, and that's what the real question is. So going back to Nico's question, he talks about how much he loves the arm wrestling at the table and his friend needs it. Now, I would ask this question. This goes to all of you, okay? This is a question to all of you. You have to clarify what you want out of arm wrestling. Are you doing it for fun? Are you doing it because you want to be a tournament champion? Are you doing it to make your friends happy? A little bit of all of those is probably it. Everyone loves arm wrestling who's into arm wrestling. You can't hate it and then want to go be a tournament champion. But this is the problem, and this is why everyone keeps running into the same brick wall that I'm talking about. And this is why I'm proposing a radical solution, which I did touch on in my overtraining video, and I'm going to propose it again, okay? It's this: if you know arm wrestling and you're pretty technically proficient at it, you're good at the moves, minimize your table time training. It's the most stressful thing on your arms and your body that you can do, much more stressful than the weightlifting, okay? Now, part two, and I'm gonna try to help with this. I'm gonna be providing a lot of exercise techniques that are going to be used off of the table in order to make you stronger for on-table applications. And I think I've come up with some really interesting solutions that are good. I think you're going to really appreciate, okay? But my thought is this: your arms, if you're a regular person like I am, okay, I'm not John Brzenk, okay, I don't know what he can, maybe he can do table training 4 days a week or something. I don't know what he does. All I know is, for me, table training makes me extremely sore, okay, if I'm doing it hard. So what I said in my overtraining video, I'm going to state very clearly here, okay? And this is with the idea that you want to be a tournament champion. If you're, like I said, I'm clarifying, if you're just arm wrestling for fun, what does it matter? If you're looking just to beat your friend, that's not what this channel's about. You guys know that, and so I just wanted to make that clear. If you're looking to win in a tournament, then this is what I'm suggesting. I'm taking the like and the helping of the friends. I'm taking that out of this question because I'm talking about tournament success, because it goes against those things. Okay? If you're doing it twice a week because you love it, but you still want to be a tournament champion and you're not as strong as you think you need to be, we have a problem. Okay, and I'm gonna provide what I think is the solution. Okay, so coming back to what I was saying, if you arm wrestle, have arm wrestled a lot, and you know what you're doing, you know where your moves are, stop arm wrestling. I'm crossing my hands here. Stop arm wrestling. When you're training for tournament, when you're in season, when you're getting ready, focus on strength. And like I said, focus on strength for exactly the technical moves you're going to do at the table. The hooks, the top rolls, go through the precise range of motion you will be using in the exact angle. And I'm going to go through that in a nice training video with lots of new exercises really soon, okay? So those will be incoming, but that's my advice, is see where you're weakest, pick those places, really consider where you're weakest on the table, okay? Find exercises, and I'm gonna help with that. Use exercises that are going to work those weaknesses until they're much, much, much stronger. And then you'll see, when you go to apply that against somebody who was much stronger than you in the past, you'll be able to go and use it at the tournament, and you'll find you'll be much more effective because you'll be using the same moves, the same technique, the same brain with a stronger machine. Your machine is stronger. And I think a lot of times in tournaments, overtraining is the killer. It's trying to do 2 times a week at the table and then mix with weightlifting, or just get stronger, to answer Nico's question, to just get stronger at the table without the weightlifting. From a tournament competition perspective, it's not gonna happen. If you're not a super genetically gifted person, like me, like just a regular guy who has to lift weights hard, and I have recovery issues just like anybody else, I couldn't do 2 times a week of hard training and be healthy even without the weightlifting, okay? My advice, if you understand weightlifting, is to do the exact opposite, is to stop arm wrestling, or if you're going to do it, just go 10%. And I really mean that. Go through the motions with the partner. Don't go hard. It's really, really, really hard on your body, okay? Focus on the strengths you need to build for on-table application by weightlifting really hard. In the meantime, you won't get anywhere near the torque and the damage, and then when you go to apply it on the table, you'll be much stronger. Let me make sure I didn't leave anything out of that question there. Let me take another look at it here real fast. Okay, so I kind of answered most of that, but I did want to go back to just a few of those things, which is remember what I said, which is this channel specifically is not, I understand everyone loves arm wrestling and I understand wanting to do it. I'd like to do it a lot more too. However, you have to define what you want. If you're looking for tournament success, I'm telling you what I think will work. And I'm telling you, and you already know this. Here's the thing, you guys already know this. Arm wrestling's really hard on your arms. The more you do it, the more damage you get, the less likely you are to be able to have the strength and recovery reserves to build strength in the gym. Therefore, you will always be overtrained, you will always be sore, you will always be at a risk of a major injury, and it's not necessary, okay? If you're a basketball player, you can't take 6 months off and just go focus on jumping, okay? It's a different type of sport. And I'm not saying arm wrestling is not a complete skill sport. I'm not saying stop using table time. I'm saying stop going hard. You can still go twice a week. You can go 5 times a week at arm wrestling. Stop pulling hard. Go easy. Go through the motions. Go through the motions. Go through the technical motions. Work on exact positioning. Work on exact execution, but without all the torque and the strain. That is my advice as far as weights or table time. Okay, and I'll say it one last time just to summarize. If you already know what you're doing on the table, focus a lot more on the weights, okay? If you're focusing a lot more, if you don't know how to arm wrestle yet, focus a lot more on the table time until you know what you're doing, and then really build up your body if you want to be a tournament champion. I'll see you in the next one.